Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today and all the best for the new year. Hopefully this year will be very successful to you. Starting off with some exams. What better way to, kickstart it with knowledge and experience. So tonight we've got quite a full program. We're going to take you through how to prepare for your supplementary exams. We're going to take you through the exam portal, the exam guides, where you can actually go test your setup. So please, if you can, follow along on a separate screen or on your mobile device. So you do have those links saved, but we will post all the links in the chat as well. So as I mentioned, our program tonight, you must think of your exams as 3 steps. First is the preparation. That's when you access the myExams support site. You go through the content, you make sure you've got all your proctoring tools set up. You know exactly what proctoring tools you're going to be using. You know what assessment type to expect for your exam. We will also show you how to set up your modules profile picture. And then as well, we'll show you how to access your timetable. So there is a different methods how you can find out when your module will be written. So we'll show you both ways of doing that. Then next is writing your exam, accessing the myExams portal. So you should know by now, myExams is written on a different portal from my modules. So we'll show you how to access that. What are the types of exams that you will, how can I say, get on the myExams portal? And also, we'll touch on academic integrity. Why is it so important that we use these proctoring tools? And it's really there to secure the integrity of the qualification that you are doing. And then lastly, we will look at what types of support are available to you. What do you do in a situation where you experience problems with the Invigilator app, the myExams portal? Who do you contact or who do you reach out to? But firstly, please complete the pre-assessment. So if you've got 2 devices you're watching perhaps on your laptop, you can scan the QR code. But if you're on your phone, the link is also in the chat. So you can just click on the link. It's a very short quiz just to gain understanding of your knowledge before you do this session. And then we'll do a post-assessment after the session where you can actually see where you gained knowledge during the session. It will also indicate to us if there's any gaps, where areas where we might need to focus on in the future. So the link is in the chat. But we've also posted it. You can always scan the QR code, or if you're a very quick typer, you can take a screenshot of the bit.ly code as well. So as we mentioned, step 1 is all about preparations. So where do you start preparing for your exams? So there's an open myExams support site. It's basically open to everybody. But specifically, it was designed for you to help you prepare for the examinations so that you know exactly how to access your exam, how to set up the proctoring tools, test out the proctoring tools with mock exams, and you can do that multiple times to make sure everything is working. So we will go through the support site first. So the support site can be accessed at the URL on your screen. You can also scan the QR code, but I will post a direct link now in the chat as well. So I'm pasting the chat link in now, so you should be able to access it directly. And this is probably the most important link that will be shared tonight. And we'll share it a couple of times because you really need to know how to access the support material and to go and do the mock exams. So firstly, let me show you quickly how to access it on your device. So if you go to adovh.unisa.ac.za, you can also very easily search for ADOVH Unisa, and this will open up the My Student Skills Hub. So you click on My Student Skills Hub, and you can scroll down, and there's a big button, Get Ready for Your Exam, Basic Skills for Online Exams, myExams. So you can click in the link in the chat, or you can search for ADOVH Unisa, and it will take you to the site. And you click on the basic skills for online exams. Now remember, just for exams, you do need to be logged in, else you won't be able to do the mock exams. So you just select continue. This will open up the login screen. Now on this login screen, it will ask you, are you registered Unisa student? Since you are going to be writing exams, you are. You've got a MyLife email account. So you click on yes, and then you click on use my Unisa account. So this will be your MyLife email account. So this is exactly the same way you log in onto my modules, where you type in your complete MyLife email address with your student number, and then you insert your Unisa password. It's the exact same password that you use for my modules and for your Office Outlook account as well. So this will open up this page. There is an introductory video, and it will cover everything that we will cover tonight in this webinar as well. You know, firstly, the orientation, that was what we did with the pre-course assessment. Then we're going to have a look at how to navigate the myExams portal later, the assessment types, what type of assessments should you prepare for, most importantly, the proctoring tools, which proctoring tools will you be using, how do you access them, and then we'll touch on academic integrity as well, and then online assessment skills. So these are general skills that's very important that you can also learn how to address certain question types. So we won't delve into that too much. We usually, on our YouTube channel, we've got a search for assessment skills. There's a whole webinar that was conducted just on this one topic. Now, we're also going to touch tonight on support for students with special needs, and then very importantly, how to access the mock exams. And we'll take you through the demos of how to do the mock exams as well. Now, we've got webinar recordings of previous sessions. So if you're having difficulty tonight, always know the recordings will be available. It will be available on YouTube, and you can access it from here under webinar recordings. Now, if you don't have a lot of data, there's also downloadable guides, so you can always read this offline as well. So these are PDF documents that you can download, and it covers everything that's basically on this site. So just have a look on this My Exam Guides as well for additional information that you can download. Now, just note for navigation purposes, on the left hand is the course menu as well. So if you quickly want to jump to a specific topic, you can always do that as well. If you open up, for instance, one such as proctoring tools, it's actually got sub-lessons material. So you just scroll down to that specific page. But as we work through the content tonight, we will be visiting quite a few of these areas. Now, when you get ready for your exams, the first thing you should do is upload a profile picture on My Modules. And then we also should be able to access the exams proctoring lookup tool. That's to see what proctoring tool your module will actually be using for your exams. In this, we'll also demo quickly for you how to access your exam timetable. Now, firstly, My Modules. So remember, the picture only needs to be uploaded on My Modules, not on myExams. So on the myExams portal, when you go to log in on the day of your exams, you'll actually notice your picture is not there. And if you follow the same steps to upload a picture, you'll actually see that you won't be able to. It's disabled. But your profile picture should only be on My Modules, and you only need to upload it once. So if you've done this already, you're all set for this exams. But for those of you, we'll do a quick demo of how to set this up. So if you go to My Unisa, so you log into My Modules. As you can see, it's more or less the same icon. You use your Microsoft account. So once you log into My Modules, all you need to do is click on the Let me just make this a bit bigger. So at the top right, you'll see your name. You click on there, you click on profile, and then you can click on edit profile. If you scroll down, don't change any of the, you don't need to change any of the other information on here. All you need to do is you just scroll down to use a picture, and then you can drag and drop a picture in here, or you can actually go add file, and then choose a file from your computer. Let me see if I do have one here. Yeah, I don't have a mock image right now, but this can be any JPEG or PNG image. So the best is to take a picture with your phone in a well-lit area. Your face needs to be clearly visible, because what actually happens in the background is with some of the proctoring tools, they actually take your face, they compare it with AI to see if it is you that's writing it. And this is specifically for Moodle proctoring, but they also use it for other Invigilator apps as well to make sure that it was you that was captured on the camera. So once you upload your picture, you just click on Update Profile, and then you'll immediately see your picture at the top left. So just to take you through the steps again, make sure you've got it. I'm just going to go back here quickly to my screen here. So what you do, you log in, click on My Modules, you go on Profile, you get Edit Profile, you click on the button to upload a file. So you can see there it also gives the file types. So it must be JPEG, GIF, PNG. So the normal images you usually take with a photo. You choose a file. So just make sure if you're on this page, if you accidentally click, for instance, on recent files or URL downloader or any of those, you always want to be on upload a file. And this is the exact same for your exams as well if you're going to upload your answer sheet. Now you select your photo, and then you click on Update Profile, and your photo will display on the top right. So remember, this only works on my modules. When you log into myExams, it will actually not display there. So just make sure you do take note of that. Now, another one that I want to show you quickly before we get started with the proctoring and all the other content is the myAdmin. Now, I saw a few questions already about, where do I access my exam timetable? I'm just going to quickly go to my Unisa again. So you sign in, remember, with your student number and your Unisa password, not the complete email address. Click on My Admin. Now, under Assessment Admin, you'll see there, for instance, examination results. So you can view your results of exams you've written already. And then also, most importantly, examination timetable. So you just leave all of these as they are, unless you're doing some practicals for a specific module, you can select one of those. But otherwise, for online exams, you just leave it on not applicable. And from here, you just click display. Now, as I saw in the chat as well, another way that you can do this is Unisa exam timetable. And they actually have an online tool as well that you can use. So let's have a look here. Examination timetable tool. I'll post this in the chat as well. You've got direct access to here. And all you need to do here is you type in, for instance, a module code. You can even type in all the modules that you've done for the year that you want to check for when is the exams. And you click on display, and it will actually give you the module, the paper, and the date and time when you will be writing. So now you know exactly what day you'll be writing, what time. You've got your profile picture uploaded. So the next thing that you probably want to know now is what proctoring tool will I be using? I'm just going to close a few of these tabs here. So if you go back to the course, we go be under lesson 3, proctoring tools. Now there is one what proctoring tool will my module use? It's available under proctoring tools, lesson 3, but it's so important that we actually have a separate page for it as well. So you can select either one that works the best for you. Now, all you need to do on here is you type in your module code. And you'll see, for instance, oh, okay, so this one is for the College of Human Sciences, ENG 1501. This is the exact same one that we just searched for when it is. So it's the 25th of January. And it's a take-home assessment as it's displayed on the other page. And the proctoring tool that you will be using is the Invigilator app. So it's very easy. You just type in your module code for each one that you will be writing, and it'll tell you exactly which proctoring tool you will be using. And what's nice about it is, you know, you can see, okay, it's an Invigilator app. I want to know how to set this up. I click on the link. It will actually take you to the Invigilator app page. That will take you through exactly how to set it up, how to the guides, where you can get assistance, but we will go through this a bit later on. I see there's a, when is the THE 1502? Let's have a look quickly for you. Let's type it in. No exam date for you, THE 1501. I just want to see here, you might have a module specific. We'll cover that a bit later. But just note, if it is a module specific, then you won't be writing it on myExams. That you will actually get the information directly from your lecturer. So Team Nzomi, you probably have a module specific module that you will have to find out from your lecturer. So as we saw, very easy. Remember, upload your profile picture. It will only display on my modules. So please, when you log in on the day of your exams and there's no profile picture, don't worry about it. Just continue. The profile picture won't show on the myExams portal. And then to look up your proctoring tools, as we showed you, I think I'll just quickly post that direct link as well, just to make sure you have access to this exact page so that you can quickly access it. So you can actually have a look already at what proctoring tool you'll be using, so you know during this session what sections to really listen out for. Now, just a quick note on required devices. So as you know, these are online exams, so you will need access to the internet, some data to access your exams. And depending on the proctoring tool you'll use, also might influence the device that you'll be having. For instance, if you're doing Moodle proctoring, that's the one where it takes a picture that we will cover later. That you can do on your mobile device or a laptop, so it doesn't really matter. If you are doing an Invigilator app, remember the Invigilator app, the one that the university supports, is only on mobile devices. So usually what you will do is have your laptop where you actually complete your exam, and then next to you will have your phone with the Invigilator app on it. That's the recommended one where you have 2 devices. And you know, to really make it easy for you, even if you have to borrow a device, do it on 2 devices. It's very, you can browse within the Invigilator app to the myExams page as well, but it just gives that extra layer of complexity. Now, other devices such as Iris, so if you're with the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, you will be using Iris, and for that one, you do need a laptop or a desktop. And now these devices, if you have a phone, preferably not older than 5 years, make sure the operating system is updated. Make sure the apps that you will be using is updated. For instance, if you're using the Invigilator app, make sure you've got the latest one. And then, of course, make sure you've got enough space. Remember, during your exam, it will be recording audio, or taking pictures, so that needs somewhere to be saved. And then, as always, a working camera, microphone, and sound. Now, if you're using a laptop or desktop, preferably Windows 10, you know, with the latest updates, must have access to the internet, be able to run productivity apps such as Microsoft Office, because you most likely will be using Word to write out your, if it's an essay type, But make sure, even if you're using Iris, it does use some resources. So you must make sure that that is working beforehand on the device that you will be using. Now, if you're using a laptop or desktop, also make sure it's got a working camera, microphone, and sound. Remember, you may not use headphones. It should have speakers. And one thing that came up today in the myExams committee as well is they are going to flag you if you play music. So remember, no background music or loud music around you. So it's one of the methods they discovered that students are using to bypass the system. So if they detect that you are playing loud music, they will immediately flag your assessment. So this brings us to the proctoring tools. Now, remember, there are 3 different types of assessments. So we've got MCQ exams. That's the multiple choice, the quiz activity that we're used to. There's the take-home exams. That's the one that you do in the assignments tool, where you actually write something out and you upload the PDF document at the end. Then also we've got module arrangement. Now, very importantly, module arrangement is, for instance, such as that module we had earlier, which was a THS, where it's not on the exam timetable, it's module specific. So you'll be actually writing on my modules. So that is not written on my exams. But for all the others, they generally are written on myExams portal, and it will be either a MCQ exam, that's a quiz, or a take-home exam, that's an assignment. Now, there are 3 different proctoring tools. So we've got Moodle proctoring. So if you're going to be using a quiz, most likely you will be using Moodle proctoring. If you're going to be doing a take-home exam, you will be using Invigilator app. Now, the only difference is if you're with the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, CSET, or you're doing a module with College of Science, Engineering, Technology, you will be using Iris for both. But remember, you'll never use 2 different proctoring tools at the same time. It will always be one of them. So that's why it's so important to check on that proctoring lookup tool, which proctoring app you will be using, so that you prepare for that specific one. So if you're College Science, Engineering, Technology, you already know it will be Iris, but for the others, it will be one of these 2 that you will need to focus on. So for the next session on how to, how can I say, use the Moodle proctoring and the Invigilator app, I'm going to hand over to David. Thank you, David.
All right, thank you, Richard, and good evening, everyone. I see the chat is seriously busy, so we are trying our best to keep up with all the questions and trying to answer all the questions for you guys as best as we can. Please note we are here to show you the tools, so some of the decisions we're not part of, so we won't be able to exactly answer those, especially with regards to why are you writing in January, February instead of May, June, or vice versa. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. Let me just get the presentation up here quickly. Okay, so as Richard was saying, we are now going to continue with the process. We're looking at the assessment types. I'm currently running 2 screens, so let me just quickly get these sorted because I see it's jumping from one to the other. Let me try that again. And of course, we need to run full screen. So maybe let me just disconnect my second screen for a second. Yep, I think that will probably work best. Otherwise, YouTube is going to go blank, so I don't want that to happen. All right, so there we go. So guys, yes, so we're going to be looking at the different assessment types. So just give me a second. All right, so let's quickly have a look. So right, so we've got 3 different types, guys. So to your multiple choice, I know some of you guys have written this before, so it might not be new information. Some of you guys might be writing for the first time. So that's why we're just going to go through some of these basics to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So we've got MCQ, multiple choice questions. Okay, so it's like a quiz activity. So please take note of the instructions they give you. So make sure you answer your questions before you go to next, that type of thing. So always read the instruction, very important. Then we've got take-home exams, which is basically your written exam. We call it a take-home exam, but it really is like an assignment. You're going to have to type up all your answers, and then you're going to have to submit it onto the myExams portal. So the MCQ one, it's already done on the site, so that's nice. So you just have to submit it there. And if the time runs out, it submits automatically. The take-home, you have to type it up, you have to upload it, and you're going to submit it that way as well. But please take note, when we speak about the proctoring tools, we guys need to know exactly how that's all going to work. In other words, how do I upload on the proctoring tool, and how do I also do that on myExam? So there's two different processes there, and that one's only got to do with the Invigilating app. Then, of course, you've got the third option, and this is usually catching you guys out. It's the module arrangement. In other words, you're not doing an exam, but you might be doing a portfolio. In other words, something else that you're going to need to submit. So now you need to go check your module and go check your emails from My Life, right? And go see what exactly are they telling you, because that information will be coming through there. So it's very, very important that you go and read those things as well. So this is basically covered in Unit 2 of the course. Now, hopefully you guys all saw in the beginning, how did we get here? If you didn't, let me quickly show you. I just want to make sure, Richard, that the latecomers did not miss this, because I know some of the students were saying they couldn't join because whatever reason. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to go to the adov.unisa.ac.za site. This is the My Skills Hub, guys. And this is where you will find all the different free courses that you can do. But for example, today we are dealing with the basic skills for online exams. So that's the one we're going to be fiddling with tonight. But you'll see there's also other courses that if you've got the time, of course, you can also go engage them and really, really cool, fun stuff that you can do. Then you're going to log in, right? And then it's going to ask you a question. Now, you guys are all students already, and that's why you want to write your exams. So you're going to say yes, and you'll select the account. And then you're going to log in with your details. Okay, pretty straightforward, exactly the same way you do it on my modules. So no different. Type in your full My Life email address, you click on next, type in your password, and then it'll log you in. All right, so now I just want to go back to my course. All right, so you'll find the course. Okay, this is the name of the course, STU 200. Yep. All right, so once the course opens, I don't want to go back because I know it might drag a little bit with the internet speed. I'm just going to take off this little guy. Okay, so let me just go one step back. Sorry, I was just doing something before I joined the session. Okay, so once you logged in, you should see your details there, your pretty profile picture there. Please take note, you'll only see your profile picture in My Modules. You will not be able to add it to the My Exam space, so just take note of that as well. But we do cover it in our course. So you'll just scroll down, you'll find the basic skills, you'll click on it. It's going to open up the course. If it's your first time, it's going to pop up a little button saying please enroll, which is 100% free. Click on it, and then it will take you into the course. Now, just to remind you guys, please take note. The course is designed in such a way that it takes you through systematically through everything that you need to know. How to do it, everything is there, okay? And also the recordings will also be listed here as well. You'll see them towards the bottom, webinar recordings. I know a lot of you guys were asking about that. Okay, cool. So what you're going to do is there's the pre-course assessment survey, as Richard indicated. So please make sure you do it, so that you can give us feedback to say what areas do you need more information on. Then we dealt with the steps to access the exam. Okay, so Richard already showed you this, where you guys then can see. But if you did miss it, and that's why I really want to show you this, you click on the lesson and you'll see it tells you go here, go there. This is what you're going to see. Click on the date, see your exam, and follow the basic processes. So yeah, so you won't miss anything, guys. The most important thing is that you can get to this module site. Then from there, it's just a matter of working through the materials. Then we were tackling lesson number 2. You see it as it builds on each other now. And this is where we talk about MCQ and, of course, the take-home exam. So there we go and explain it to you. So you just can read through it. You'll understand, okay, this is what it's about. There's a little bit more information. You go click on the page. Again, you'll read through it. Now you'll notice we also put in things like this, and you'll see sort of a pinkish color. All right, so if you're using a mobile device, what do I need to know now? So there's something extra there for you. So if you're using a mobile device, check out the landscape mode option. In other words, now I can go change the way my rotation of my device. Which side will it look better, if it's landscape or portrait? So that's really what we want you to do with this mock exams and the site itself, is take your device and go practice it, play around with it, get comfortable with the technology and your device. That's the key. That's the reason for the mock exam, the practice exams, is to get used to the technology with your device. Okay, so there we go. So then we say, okay, so this is basically the symbol you'll see if it's a multiple choice, and then you'll follow the steps to actually do the exam itself. So there they'll pop up the question, the date, the time, how much time you've got. You'll click on attempt. This little guy is going to pop up, and then you say, okay, great. There's my, you should see yourself at this point because your web camera will be on. Then you just tick it and you say start attempt. So now we're just building up here, guys. We're just saying to you, this is how you're going to do this. So you don't have to do it any practical at this point. Now you're just understanding the process. Then you'll see your questions. You'll be able to answer your questions and you'll see yourself. Now, depending on your device, you might not see yourself if you're using a smartphone. There'll be a little drop-down button. If you click on it, then you will see yourself popping up there. So that's why we want you to do these practice exams. So you're not caught out by anything from the proctoring tool, so that you're super comfortable, that you know exactly what it's doing. All right, and there we go. So then we basically run through all the questions. You can just do a practice exam just to get a feel for it. You'll say finish, you'll finish it again, and then it'll give you some sort of feedback to say, okay, done. Which is a good idea. Take a picture of that just as your evidence as well. Now, these are the steps that you can follow. Remember, we're just showing you step by step by step. Then, of course, we also have a video for you. So if you prefer just to have someone in a video that's running through basically exactly what's above is shown to you, then you can actually just come look at this video over here and you'll see it runs through all the information again. So it's totally up to you. You can work it either way, whatever you're comfortable with. But long as once you've done this, you say, okay, this is how multiple choice questions work. Now I understand this part. Then you can move on to the next lesson or activity, which is then the take-home exams. Now, I know a lot of you say, but I don't need to do this one because I'm only doing multiple choice. That's fine. It's not a problem. But at some point, you might get this little guy, and then at least you know, oh, right, this is where I can go practice this so that I'm comfortable for my exam. So that's also why we actually put it there for you guys. So if you are going to do a written exam, all right, how does it work? Now you can, again, you follow the steps, you see how it's laid out, you see how the question paper's there, how to add your submission. In other words, when you've finished, how am I going to submit this? And it basically explains it to you as well. Very importantly, we also point out the key elements that you must take care of to make sure that you're submitting the right thing. So the first one is make sure that you tick this little guy. You have to actually, but this is just to confirm that this is your work that you're submitting. So that's very important. The next thing is they're going to tell you, all right, how much space do you have? And how many files can you submit? So now you need to know, okay, how big is my file and how many files can I submit? So this is the good things to understand. So when you're doing your exam and you're saving the work, that if there's an error message that pops up and says file size too big, what are you going to do? Okay, so there's a nice little website that you can actually use, guys. So if it's a PDF, mostly you will submit a PDF. If it says your file size is too big, then all you're going to do is this. You're going to quickly open a tab. You type in I love PDF. It's probably the easiest one to get to. And you're just going to say compress PDF for me quickly. You select your file and you quickly go in and select it. And then it's going to squash it up for you, make it as small as possible. Once it's done, it will say download the file. So go and practice this. All right, do it as a practice and see how it works just in case you need to do this. Okay, then where was I? All right, yeah, nope, not there. Yeah, okay, so that's one element that you might just need to go play around with and practice. Then you upload your file. Normally it'll just be a PDF, Okay, but if they do give you options, then you can quickly see which options do you have. But generally speaking, it's normally going to be PDF anyway. So make sure you know how to save as a PDF. Save it. Okay, and then you should get this sort of information in green saying it's submitted and whatnot. So again, we give you the steps, we give you the detail. At this point, you just want to understand how does the process work. We haven't done anything practical yet. That's still coming up. And then you've got the video over here. Again, you can go run through the video, which explains basically everything there. So that's the critical elements. Okay, so now you know, okay, multiple choice, and then I've got this. Now, before you even start tackling the proctoring tools, right? Let's quickly go back and see. The proctoring tools, there are 3 different types of proctoring tools. Whoops, and a jump. There we go. Okay, so there are 3. You're only going to use 1 per exam. Okay, you can't use more than 1 per exam. It cannot work that way. And it doesn't mean you're going to do all 3 of them as well. So that's also quite important to remember. So these are the options you've got. So the first thing is you're going to need to know, okay, so these are the 3. How do I know which ones do I need to do? Now, Richard already showed you that, hey? Okay, but I'm going to show you again with the proctoring tool, lookup tool. So first check what modules have you got? Which proctoring tools do you need to go and practice? And then you come and practice them. Otherwise, you're just going to do proctoring tools for no benefit whatsoever. So that's very important. So the first one that's popping up is called Moodle proctoring. The nice thing about Moodle proctoring is it's built into the web browser. So you don't need to install anything, but you do need to make sure that your webcam is working. All right. So if you do have a laptop, for example, and the webcam is, say, not working, it's broken, then please go get an external one and just plug it in and set it up, do the demo, the practice exams so that you know that's working correctly. That's the most important thing, guys, is practice, practice, practice. So that's the one we're going to discuss. Then we're going to also discuss the Invigilating app, and I'm sure you guys have all heard about this one. It does seem a bit daunting, but once we showed you the steps, guys, and you've done it practically yourself, remember, as a demo, you've got it there, you'll actually see, okay, it's not that bad. And then, of course, we've got Iris. Now, Iris is a very different type of proctoring tool where it actually is just for the CSET students and the CTA students. So those guys, you will need to go and practice Iris as well. And Richard is going to cover that one. So I'm going to cover the first 2, and then Richard will tackle the third one. With the Iris Invigilator. I see a lot of hands coming up. So guys, please, if you have volume problems, try out our YouTube channel or check your device's volume, because I know that can cause issues. Or if you've got those headsets that are wireless, check those as well, can also cause issues. But please do post your questions in the chat. We'll try and answer them there as best we can. Okay, so those are the 3 proctoring tools. Now, the first one is Moodle proctoring. It's probably the easiest one because it's so simple. And it's usually or only for multiple choice questions. So that's the nice thing about it. It captures your picture with the webcam of your device. So if it's your smartphone or your laptop, yes, it will just capture your picture every now and then, but you just pretty much ignore it and you just write your exam. So don't even worry about what it's capturing. Okay, so let me first tackle the Moodle proctoring, then I'll come back to the next one. Right, so let me go back now to the course. Okay, so now you guys have seen we've tackled lesson 1, lesson 2, and now we've moved on to lesson 3. So uploading your picture. So I just want to show you this because this is required. And I saw some of you guys were asking about the uploading of the picture. So the first thing you're going to do, this is practical. You need to see your profile picture in My Modules. Okay, so that's the way you know if it's done correctly. Not My Exams, My Modules. Please take note, My Exams, you can't do this. Okay, so you're just going to scroll down. Again, we give you some helpful information, so please go check it out. All right, play around with your device. See if you can see the edit profile link. Sometimes some devices are a little bit small, might be a bit tricky. Go have a look at the FAQ, frequently asked questions. All right, and then go click here and you can get some more information there. So work through this information while you've got the time to do so. Right, so how do I do it? You'll see we go to My Unisa, then you're going to go to My Modules. You'll click on the chap. It's going to drop down a profile. You can see there's no picture there. Great. Remember now we're in My Modules. Eh? Go to Profile. It's going to then pop up an edit profile button. So you'll see it there. You're going to say, okay, great. You should see your My Life email account over here. I've just grayed it out so you can't see the demo that we used, but you're just going to click on edit. Nice and easy. Once the edit happens, it's going to get to this little guy. Very similar to your assignment submission box that you guys might have seen during the last year. So you simply just have to go upload your picture. All right, so you go select it, you choose the file, wherever you saved it, then you say upload. If it comes out landscape instead of portrait, you can use a tool like your picture editor, and you can actually tell it to swap it around for you. So you can just use Google, or no, we don't use Google anymore. We use ChatGPT or Gemini and all these tools, AI tools, that you can just say to it, how do I crop a picture for free? And it'll tell you exactly what to do. So yep, so use the tools. Then once you click on upload, immediately you should see your picture popping up there. So this is very important, especially with the Moodle proctoring, because it's part of the exam rules. You must have a profile picture uploaded. So guys, please make sure it's a nice, simple picture like mine over there. Don't have to worry about hair and makeup and all those things. Ladies, you're beautiful anyway, so don't worry about that. Just try to have a nice picture. This guy was excited. He was smiling, so he's happy. So yeah, so nice and simple picture will do perfectly. Right, and then of course there's the video again, which explains us the whole process. Then the next thing we do is checking up the proctoring tool. Okay, so this is quite important. Okay, with my screen, I've just disconnected it. I'm just going to use the one at the bottom. This one works, just opens a little bit bigger. So let me just use this one. Either one will work fine, guys. I'm just using this one because I know it opens a lot bigger for me. So the proctoring tool, okay, so that's part of lesson 3. So if you want to go and check what does your course require, I've just typed in the first 3 letters, and you can see immediately it's picking up the module codes which start with E and G. So there's 2 here which are using the Invigilating app, and the first one I see it's using Moodle proctoring. So that's quite important to remember. So now it's telling you, okay, great, this is the tool. If you don't see the module here, then please go and check your exam timetable, go check your My Life emails, and go check your module code as well to see if there's any information waiting there for you. Right, let me try another one. Let's say mathematics, always CSET. There we go. So there you'll see the Iris proctoring tool is there as well. So this little tool can definitely help you, just guide you to say which proctoring tools do you need to go and practice now. So that's also a very important step in lesson number 3. Then if you've got Moodle proctoring, then come and check out Moodle proctoring and let's go see how it works. Moodle proctoring, guys, as I said, the nice thing is it's for the quiz, it's built into your browser. So the only thing you need to do is when you do your practice exam, please make sure you allow it to access the web page. So your browser needs to actually use your webcam. So it asks you for permission, which you must do. If you don't do it, it's not going to work. And then of course the exam won't start up. It's going to block you. So learn how to switch it on and learn how to switch it off. Why do I say that? Because at the end of the day, if you accidentally block it before you start your exam, you need to know how to unblock it and get it so that the webcam is accessible by the web page. So it's very, very important that you are able to do that. Again, please take note of the pink sections and go play around with your device. All right, so if you're doing multiple choice, now you'll see this builds on from what we've done in lesson number 2. It continues from this point. So you will click, go to your module, you'll log in. If you've done all the steps up to this point, then you will be able to access the exam. You'll see it's available. It will give you the start time, date, all that information. So you should be able to see it even soon, today probably even. And then you will be able to see that your module is ready to begin. You'll say attempt, and immediately it's going to say to you, do you give me permission? Now this little dialog, guys, it will pop up. It might look a little bit different. So that's why it's important to go and use your device and go to the browser and come and do this practice exam that we're showing you so that you can see how does this look on your device, because sometimes it doesn't always look exactly the same depending how many times you've done this. So please go play around with it. But that's the whole fun part of this. Then once you've activated it, you should see that it will say, great. You can say attempt your quiz. and then you should see yourself immediately popping up. Perfect. Then you'll just tick the block and you'll say click on start attempt, then your exam starts. Okay, so that's basically in a nutshell how the steps work. Again, we've got the video where Doc Maria shows you basically exactly the same steps that I've just showed you. But now we want you to take one step further. So once you've worked through all of this, we want you to actually come and test it out with your device. Now, please only do this if you know Moodle proctoring is one of the exams that you need to write. Go click on it. And then you're just going to wait a few seconds. I've done it many, many times, so it's most likely I'm going to show you now what's going to happen. Okay, so the page is going to open. Now you'll see this is a separate little course. Okay, so in your case, it might say to you the very first time, please click on Enroll Me. All right, so you just click on the Enroll button and immediately it's going to come and pop up over here. If we're going a bit fast, guys, don't worry. The most important thing is all the steps are given to you. It's just a matter of you getting to the site, okay? And then you just follow it systematically. Right, so yeah, it says to me STU 201 mock exam, practice exam, Moodle proctoring. Excellent. So then I scroll down. I'm just going to say see more. And of course, we give you all this information as well. So make sure that you are comfortable with everything here before you even go and practice the exam. You can practice the exam 10 times, so that's not the problem. But just make sure you've gone through all the information that you need to understand before you do it. Okay, because that's part of the preparation. So you'll see a mock exam, you're going to click on it. All right, give it a few seconds, and then immediately you see, there we go. The camera's opening, there I am. So it really says to me, okay, I see that this website, it's a practice website, needs to access your webcam. Am I going to allow it? So I can basically say allow it while I'm visiting the site, so then it doesn't have to do it every time, or you can just say once. So you have to kind of select one of these two options. But ideally, just say every time. So then you know when I come to the website, only then will the web camera activate itself. And there we go. Now what you'll notice is, again, depending on your browser, it's going to show you that you're busy accessing it over here. I'm just going to switch it off now just to be deliberately funny. I'm going to reset the permission. Right, let me just refresh the page. And again, you'll see the pop-up then immediately pops up again. You might, depending on which browser you're using, although we do recommend use Chrome or Edge, you might see a warning message popping up saying, please allow the camera, okay? But mostly now with the new browsers, the new updates, make sure it's updated. It should do this, which is perfect. It's actually even easier than, and you just click on it and then you go on. So even with your smartphone, guys, it's going to ask you the same question. Then if you just go a little bit down, you'll see the date, the time, what the assessment's about. So you go read through it, how many questions are there, what must you do, what mustn't you do, that type of thing. We do give you the myExams guide here as well for Moodle proctoring. Okay, so you can go read it. So if you didn't quite get it the first time, or you just feel like, let me run through this again or refresh, please go see it as well. Remember, guys, it is an exam, so please make sure you know all the exam questions, or not the questions itself, but the rules. So again, this is very important. Richard also alluded to playing music, guys. Remember, it's an exam, so you can't play music, you can't play anything. It will pick up if you're doing that, and that's how we know students were listening to music. So just take note of that. Right, so then I'm going to preview the quiz. I'm going to click on it. Now, obviously, we use this for demonstration purposes, so we've done it quite a few times. So immediately, there we go. So the webcam is available. I need to tick it over here. And then you'll see start attempt becomes available. If you is doing this, that just means you haven't ticked it over here. So that's very important. Then you say start attempt. Give it a few seconds, and then you'll see it start popping up here. Okay, so you won't see it looking this graphical, okay, just because our website is a little bit more advanced than the myExam one. But generally, you should see the time, you should see the questions. Please make sure you answer the questions before you go to the next page. Okay, so that's quite important. Oh dear, it looks like a lot of people are jumping on board already. And there you can see the webcam is running in the background. Now, the most important thing is, guys, practice this. and practice it on the device that you plan to use for your exam, because that is really what it's there for, to get comfortable with the technology and the device that you're using, because that's one way to take away the exam stress of technology, which is real, by practicing it here. Okay, because then you'll get more comfortable and you should be able then to easily troubleshoot it yourself as well. Remember, don't panic. Come and practice this, because by practicing, you'll get a lot of confidence as well. That's why I said, switch it on, the camera, switch it off, see what happens in the exam, correct it for yourself. But obviously, once you started the exam, okay, this is a good question. I'm glad it's popping up. It should pop up. Please remember, when you're in the exam, don't go playing around with these settings in the actual exam, hey? Because that will be found as illegal cheating. So leave it alone. So this is only for the demos. Go and play around with this. Okay, so what happens here now? You saw my lighting is actually very bad. I have not got anyone to switch the light on for me. So yes, it will struggle to actually pick me up at the minute. So that's my case. It's a lighting problem. Very easy to fix. I just need to switch on the lights. So take note of that. If sometimes you might get this message if you're way too far back, then sometimes it might say your face is not found. But if you just come a little bit closer to your camera, it should generally disappear. If I could find centers helpers, they could switch the light on for me, but I don't know where these kids are. Anyway, so yeah, so this is basically how it will run. Okay, so it's quite straightforward, quite a nice one to do. So please go and practice it, and you'll see that, okay, this one's not too hectic. But practice it with the device that you want to use, and practice with another device just as a plan B, just in case something happens to that plan A device, so that you're then comfortable with the technology. Okay, so that's your Moodle proctoring. Don't need to install anything. You just need to make sure your webcam is working and that you allow it. That's the most important thing. Now, the next fun one, and I'm going to, I'm sure Richard will post it as well. The contact number, and we'll just explain this in a few seconds. Okay, your Invigilating app, guys, is a separate application that you're going to need to download. I see my camera still on. Give me a second. Because this light, at least there's a light. It's still zapping me in the eyes over here. Okay. Right, there we go. So yes, now as I was saying, Invigilating app. Now this, guys, is a separate application that you're going to need to install on your smartphone. It does not work on your laptop. I know there is a laptop option or version, but you cannot use it unless they say you can, but there's no ways. We have not heard anything that you're allowed to use it. So please take note, the Invigilating app only works and is only available on your smartphone for Unisa exams until told otherwise. Okay, so it only runs on your smartphone, so forget about your tablets and forget about your laptops. It must be a smartphone. How does it work? It's going to basically take some pictures randomly at random times and as you're doing your exam. The demo exam, guys, it's only about 8 minutes or so, which you guys will have access to if you need to use the Invigilating app, where you can actually go and play around with this, do the demo test as many times as you want, get comfortable with how the technology works in terms of taking pictures. It might ask you to take a picture of yourself. It might ask you to take a picture of your desktop where you're sitting. It might ask you to take a picture, whatever it may be, your ID or your student card. So it'll basically tell you what to do. And that's why the demo test is so important, so that you get used to it. So you get used to taking the pictures when you hear that beep noise. And of course, at the end of the exam, when you need to upload, how you're going to take pictures of what you've written or what you've typed up on your screen. So you can go practice those things to see how quickly you can do it. So that's also very, very important. So we're going to cover that in the next few hundred slides. Then, of course, there's the WhatsApp number. Now, guys, this WhatsApp number is only for messages, not for calls. So you don't call this number. It's not going to be answered anyway. But if you've got technical issues, then this is the number you use. In other words, if I've got 5 days or less to go to my exam date and I'm using the Invigilating app, and now you want to do the demo, but once you try to log in, the system says, sorry, your MyLife is not recognized, then this is one of the numbers you can use for them to quickly register you as well. But what you need to do is always just double check yourself, make sure that you are indeed need to write this app by using that tool that we did show you. So there's the number. We will post it in the chat, and it is on our website as well. So you guys will be able to use it quite often. Please take note, there's quite a different lot of apps out there. So the Invigilating app, it's this little guy with the L, all right, with his big, seriously big glasses, although an L actually has very good eyesight. Or doesn't have good eyesight. I can't remember if it does or doesn't, but anyway. So yeah, so look out for the correct one. So we do give you the links for it, so it's actually easy to find. It's only for students to take home for 4 hours or less. So it's not for all the other exams. That's why we say, please double check if you need to use this, because there are other exams that you're going to write the whole day and submit at the end of the day. So this one then is not applicable. So of course, then the tool will tell you that you do not need it. But again, go read your My modules and go check your emails, because they will tell you there in detail what is expected of you. That's the most important thing. Okay, so what devices do I need for my beautiful Invigilating app? So as I said, laptop, PC can work. I see a tablet is linked, listed there. So, okay, great. But those you cannot use, eh? That's for myExams. Okay, so yes. So myExams, these are the ones you can use. Not a problem. And you can use them together. So if you've got a laptop and a smartphone, great stuff. You can put them together. The Invigilating app, only on your smartphone. So that's what I was saying earlier as well. It does have its own in-app browser. So when you go do the demo, you'll actually be able to see it and see how it works. So go play around with it. That's really why we're giving you guys the demo. So how does it work? So they register you. So these guys actually register you before your exam. Well, at least 72 hours before your first exam that you're going to use the app. So yes, it's done from those guys that we gave you the contact details for. So that's very important as well. So make sure that you are ready once they are registered. So, but now what you can do is you can prepare yourself, you can understand what you need to do, and there is a support video that you can go watch that you'll just have a good idea of what's coming up. Then go through the steps, test it out, do the mock exam as many times as you want so that you are super, super comfortable with what's going to be coming up. Okay, so how does it work? So once you get the app, you're going to install it, all right, to download it at least, and then it'll install itself. And then it's going to say, please log in. So there we go. So you're going to type your MyLife email account, and then you're going to type in the password. If I remember correctly, Richard, when you click, because I mean, in the beginning, you are not going to have all this information. So you're going to say, I don't have an account, right? And then you're going to fill in your details. And that's where you must use your MyLife email account. And very importantly, you must create your own password. So that's critical. So never mind, Richard, I was going to just ask you about the password problem, what we experienced before. So remember, when you get to the app itself, you're going to say, I don't have an account. You're going to select Unisa, student number, fill in your details, and very importantly, you're going to create your own password. Suggestion, maybe, it's up to you, maybe use the same password as your myUnisa password. In that way, it'll just be easier to remember. Once you've completed the steps, and then it's going to send a verification PIN that you need to enter. So you can check on your phone, or you can check on your email, and then you'll basically just type it in, and then you verify your account. So that's a very quick thing to do. So just take note, guys, if it says it doesn't recognize your email, please check that you need to use the app, or you're a bit too soon asking for it. Once it gets in, okay, this is the example how it will look. This is the email option. You'll see it says hello, it will have your email address, your student number there, and then it'll give you the code that you need to enter. Okay, so if you got the email route, not the PIN route, then this is how it will work. You enter it, boom, then it's going to basically give you terms and conditions, straightforward, just like with anything. Mostly we never read this, so please just quickly skim through it, so at least you understand what it's about. It's not that long. Then you say accept, and then it'll say welcome to the Invigilating app. Yay, now you're in. Right, so once you're in, then you will see the first thing it's going to say to you, right, I need to be able to access your, in this case, it was an iPhone that we used, your Apple Music, or basically your music and video activity library. So you kind of need to say allow because it does record sound. That's why it needs to have access. But remember, guys, it only will do that when the app is running. Okay, it's not going to just do it any willy-nilly whenever it decides to. Okay, it doesn't work that would be legal anyway. So just take note of that. So only once you access the app and it's going to ask you to allow it, then it will actually do that. But it only picks up human voice, not other noises whatsoever. Right, then it says getting started. So then it basically runs through a little setup with you, which you're going to do for yourself. The first thing is you're going to do a selfie check. Okay, so basically explains that, yes, we're going to do some selfies. We're going to take some pictures. And then you just say, okay, cool, continue. Then it says attention. Okay, we're going to take a picture now. So let's test out your camera. Let's see if your camera is working. And this is what it's doing. So there you can see my beautiful colleague. You can't really see her, but there's Jessica. And then you just take the picture. So you try to get your little face inside that white little squiggly looking thing. All right, and then you'll see there's the picture button here at the bottom, which you're going to zap. Right, then it's going to say to you, okay, let's take a picture of a photo. Okay, so now it's done a selfie. Now it wants to take a descriptive photo of you. So there we go. We've got this very young guy before he was married, and then he got married, he got old. No, just kidding. So then we take, for example, student card. So we're just taking a nice picture. Sorry, Bronwyn, if you heard that. So you take a picture. Now this is where we're taking pictures now, right? Because remember, we're going to need to use the front side camera to take the picture. So again, it's just testing out your device, and that's the most important thing that we're doing. Great. Then it says, okay, document scan check. Wonderful. Click on start. Then the next thing it wants to do, so you can maybe put down a piece of paper, and then you can get used to holding the phone over the paper just to sort of get a document scan. And then once you'll see it sort of locates the document, you'll see the little guy there, it will take a picture there. So this is just part of the setup of the app. So it's just a fun way to test your device to make sure it's working. Then the next thing is we're going to check the microphone. You're going to say, yep, let's check it out. Click on start. And then it's going to make a ping noise. It's quite loud, so you cannot not hear it. Then you can say test sound on, or say, no, didn't hear the sound. It'll do it again, or say yes. So just check your volume then. That's usually the problem there. Say yes. Okay, great. You've done that. And then it says, okay, fine. Now we've tested your device. Now we're going to need to take a master photo. And this is the one that it's going to use whenever you write your exam, that it's going to refer back to. So ladies, gents, don't worry about makeup. Nice, simple picture as possible. And then you're just going to take the master photo. So when you do the setup, just take note that the master picture is important. So you're going to take a selfie again, but this time it's going to be kept by the device for your exam. For whatever reason, if you have a boo-boo here and the picture doesn't come out well or whatever happens, again, use that contact number for the technical team for the Invigilating app, and they'll be able to help you remove it and do another master. But please do this as soon as you've got access to the app and if you need to use the app. Don't do it the day of the exam, guys. Don't put that stress on you because then you haven't practiced it as well. Then it'll say starting an assessment. So in other words, it's going to give you an option to start invigilation. So then I'm just going to say, okay, great. I can scan in a QR code or I can enter a code. So what we've done is on our website, we've got the demo exam. So there is the QR code. So you guys can actually go practice scanning it in using the first option, or you can just see it over there. It's a little bit small. You can also just type in the code. Okay, so this is on our website as well. And I'll show you in a few minutes when I go back there. So there you can actually find the QR code. Simply just type it in. So it's up to you. You can either scan it in, which is probably the quickest way to do it, or you can just type in the code and then start the assessment. So this is very important. Then it's going to say, is this correct? So it's going to confirm it to you. It's going to pick up your picture. You're going to say yes. And then it's going to say, we're going to start the assessment. Again, just before you can test the sound, just to make sure the beep is not too loud or too soft. That's where you can change your volume. And then, of course, you can click on start. In the exam, you're going to be able to practice the script upload part. All right. So at the end of it, then it's basically going to say to you, okay, in this demo exam, you've completed. Can you upload your script and how you're going to do it? So basically, it then tells you don't leave the app at all. Okay, so keep it running. So basically, what you're going to do is you're then going to take pictures. All right, and you're going to go through the demo exam and you're going to basically upload your pictures. But don't worry, it's part of the practice exam. So it makes it a lot easier when you're doing it practically. The selfies will appear. So as you do the pictures, you're going to see them appearing here. So again, with your practice exam, you'll see it's only 8 minutes, so it's very quick. Then it's going to say to you, take a picture of your ID. You're going to say, yes, let me do it. It'll take the picture. Then it's going to say, take a picture of yourself, but not, it's going to give you some time in between. Okay, it's not going to be one answer after. I know it's only 8 minutes, but you can sort of read something and then do what it tells you to do, just to get the feel of it. Then you take a picture. And that's basically what you're going to see. So you'll see all the pictures and will build up over here. Then when it's uploading your script time, now you can take some papers, or maybe even if you've written on your laptop, take a document there and actually take the scanning and take pictures of it and see actually how long does it take you to do, let's say, 10 pictures of 10 pages. Okay. And then you can quickly scan it in like this as well. So yeah, you can see we were practicing with written, and we're taking pictures, we're scanning. And the more you do it, guys, the easier it becomes to get the right width and height and distance from the paper to the scanning itself. So that's actually then just a matter of practice, and you'll actually be able to do 10 pages quite literally in a minute. And then, of course, there's the output over here on the raw screen to show you this is how it looked once we've done all these steps. So you can see, okay, that looks great. You'll see all the pages, and then you'll say upload PDF. Then it says, are you sure? You said, yes, please do. Then it's going to start the process for you. And this is where you will need internet connectivity again. Up to that point, you probably didn't need it, but now when you need to upload, yes, you're going to need it. So it runs in the background. So make sure your phone doesn't get switched off, and please don't close the app as well. So you need to put it on flight mode, so it's okay, so nobody can call you as well. All right, then it says all done, reference, great. Just do a screen grab of that, so you've got some evidence, and then you can go back to your dashboard, and you can basically see in the background what is going to happen. So this is really important that you are able to do this, because now with the Invigilating app, the app runs through the whole process with you. And then, of course, you're going to need to upload your answer also on myExams as well. So there you'll see that it actually gives you the script. I think this was in your email that you can quickly go download, then upload it like that as well. I think that was one of the easier ways of doing it that I think students did come right with. So yeah, go play around with this. Part of the practice exam, it will definitely benefit you that you understand how the whole process works. So it's really, really important. Okay, now this is the time scales that they give us. All right, so before your exam, 15 minutes before the exam opens, you can download the exam paper. You can start the Invigilating app. Then you'll get the QR code. You'll scan it in. 30 minutes after the start, the window closes, okay? So if you haven't scanned it after 30 minutes, then unfortunately you've missed your exam. Right, then when you get to the end of your exam or when you finished yourself, 10 minutes after the due time, the Invigilator upload will start, and then you'll have to close it as well after 10 minutes. And then of course 30 minutes for the actual exam, you would also need to upload it on myExams as well. This is all given to you in your modules, so please go and read the instructions very carefully. They should have given you this information probably. If you haven't, it's probably already there. So please go make sure the time, because usually a lot of you guys are asking about the time as well. So if you finish after the due time, start uploading your Invigilating app and then submit it on myExams. So it's very, very important, guys. 2 different submissions that you're doing with the Invigilating app. Go do the demo, go do the practice. It's definitely going to help you because you'll be more comfortable what you need to do and how you need to do it. I cannot stress that enough. But of course, please go check that this is indeed the tool that you need to use. Again, here we go. Technical support. You cannot phone it, but please, there is the WhatsApp number. There's also the website that you can refer to, but I think the quicker route is going to the WhatsApp number. So it's 073-505-8273, but please, it's only for WhatsApp Messenger. But of course, this is when you get any technical issues, please do contact them. They are quite quick. We've tried it out ourselves. Yep, so please do check that as well. Now I'm going to hand over back to Richard, and he's going to take you guys through the IRIS one. Now remember, that's only for CSET students. So just take note of what there we do. It's kind of a little bit different. But again, it's a matter of just practicing the tool. Okay, back to you, Richard.
Yeah, thank you, David. Let me just quickly share my screen. Yeah, this is escape here. Hey students, so we're going to get started under lesson 3, the iris invigilation. So just a note, as David mentioned, this is only for the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. So if you're doing a module within the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, then you know you will be using iris. Or if you're doing a complete course in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology, you will be using iris for all your modules. So for all of those that's not within this college, remember you will be using either Iris, Invigilator app, or the Moodle proctoring. So this is very specific to CSET students. I saw in the chat earlier, and Kululeko asked for anybody doing his module. I think it was INF. So I saw he's also with CSEC. So they will be using Iris for the examinations. Now, on lesson 3, proctoring tools, we're on Iris invigilation proctoring. Now, remember, Iris is a plugin that works on your browser. So it works on 2 types of browsers, Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. So you have to have either of these browsers. And it does work if you've got a Mac machine as well. So what you have to use one of these browsers. So on the page, there is setup instructions as well. I'll take you through the steps. But what I really recommend is to visit this official Iris website. So they've actually got a dedicated page for Unisa. So I'm going to post this in the chat as well, just to make sure that you've got it. So remember, this is specifically for Iris. And here you can easily access the plugins. So depending on if you're using Chrome or Microsoft Edge, you will click on one of these buttons to get the plugin. They've also got the instructions for installations and for Macs. And what's very nice is they've also got a frequently asked questions at the bottom. So if you're doing the mock exam, you experience a problem, come look at here first. What can it be? Now, remember, for all exam-related questions, we will share the emails as well, where you can actually contact for support. Remember not to use the general emails, but specifically the myExams emails, so you can get faster replies. So, as we mentioned, this is a plugin that works either on Chrome or Edge, and it's actually very easy. All you need to do is you install the plugin. So you'll click on the browser. I'm currently using Microsoft Edge, so I'll click on the Microsoft Edge icon. This will take me to the Edge add-on page. Now have a look at this icon over here. It says Iris and it's by Iris Invigilation. If you're going to search in the store itself for Iris, you will get some additional apps that's also called Iris. So just make sure it is the one by Iris Invigilation. Else you will get apps to test your eyes and all kinds of other strange things. So the best is to visit this page, click on the official site, click on the plugin so you know you've got the correct one. And once you're on this page, you click on Get. And this will ask you if you want to install it. So you just add extension. Now, I know there's also a lot of people that's concerned about privacy, because if you look at the permissions, it's got permission to record your screen and all that type of thing. Remember, you can install this before your exam and then remove it afterwards. And for the next exams, add it again. So you don't need to keep this installed. I've probably installed and uninstalled this quite a few times already with all the workshops that we've done. So once it's installed, if you've got this little icon at the top, you will see Iris is now installed. So Iris works automatically when you actually visit the exam site. It will pop up to actually allow you to access it directly. So I'm going to take you through the Iris mock exams that give you exactly the experience that you will have on the day. So if we look at this activity over here, once we basically we scroll to the bottom, it's Open Iris mock exams. I really recommend coming and doing this. Now you'll notice here it's for file upload and MCQ assessments. So depending on which one you will be using writing, it's best to test for that specific one. So if you know it's going to be a file upload exam, a take-home exam as they call it, you'll use the file upload assessment. If you're doing a MCQ, a quiz, then you will be doing this one. But it's very similar in how it works. So once you click on the page, you'll see the pop-up jumps up. If it does not pop up, just go back and then reload the page and it will come up again. Then as per, so with the Moodle proctoring, you need to allow your camera. So you need to click allow. If you accidentally block it, close it, refresh the page, and then allow it again. Now, very importantly, on this page over here, usage agreement, you do not need to check both boxes. You only need to agree to terms or conditions. You don't need to consent to data sharing. I'm just noticing here the microphone also popped up now. So remember, it's microphone and your camera that you need to allow for this one. So Iris is quite an in-depth proctoring tool because it actually records your screen, it records your microphone, it records your camera. All of that is being used, and then through AI, they track where you're looking and all that sort of thing. So this is the most sophisticated proctoring tool used by Unisa. So I'm here on the user agreement. So I only tick the top one, and then I can click continue. So you'll see it's grayed out until I click agree. I'm not going to consent for the data for research purposes. I can continue. So the first thing you need to do is select your camera. So you select from the available cameras. If you only have one, only one option will be available. You click on next. It will ask you for your microphone. So you will select the microphone that you use on your device. And then you'll need to insert your full name, your student number. And then yes, we're just going to capture your ID. So remember, I saw quite a few questions in the chat about what identification you can use if you don't have your ID document. So remember, you can use your car license. If you've got a Unisa access card for a campus, you can use that as well. So any official identification where you've got a photo on it, you can basically use. So all you do here is, unfortunately, I don't have my card here with me now. You basically hold this up to the camera, so make sure you can read what's on there, and you just select capture ID card. So just pretend in this case that I've got my ID in my hand, and then it's captured like that. Now the next one is to scan the room. All you need to do with this, if you've got a laptop, it's very easy. You just move your laptop from side to side while it's recording. Also, you can move your camera. So you just click on Start Scan, and you move your camera from side to side, capture the room in which you will be writing. So I can click Stop Scan, so that will show me a demo of how I captured this room as well. Now the next one, there will be a pop-up, and this is very important. This is where most people get stuck, is with sharing your screen. Now the reason why this happens is because once it's not very obvious that you have to select the screen. Now, one note here is you can only use one screen. So if you have a dual desktop or monitor setup, you'll actually get a message to say you can't go through the steps unless you unplug one of the screens. So just remember, you may only use one screen. But how the browser explorers work is you still need to select the screen, even though it is just one. And that's why they give you this message to indicate that you have to click on the screen before you can share. So I'll show you quickly. So if I click on share screen, you can see I can't select share. Even though there's only one displaying here, I can't click on the share button. I first need to click on this entire screen and then click on share. and then I will be able to go next. And this is where I then start my assessment. So it will give me there a countdown, tell me that recording has started. At this time, you can minimize this browser over here, this browser window. So don't close it as long as it's at the bottom where you can still access it from your screen. Now, what you do here is, this is, in this case, a file upload assessment. So as you might know, you will be downloading your question paper, you will be typing out your answers, say in Microsoft Word, or you'll be writing it out by hand, as long as you're visible in the camera. Once you've done, you might need to scan it in, or you save it as a PDF, and then you come back to this page. So you can actually close this page while you're writing. Doesn't need to stay open, but once you're done, you can come back, log in again, and then you add submission. But just remember, Iris should be running the entire time in the background. So you can't close this. This needs to be running the entire time that you're writing. So I'll come here, I'll click on add submission. It's a file upload assessment. So I'll scroll down. Now, firstly, you need to confirm that this is your own work, as you have to do with all file submissions. And then you can add a file to this document. So I click on files. All right, it's now giving me a bit differently here. Add, there we go. So I click on add file. You upload a file. So remember, if you accidentally click on one of these others while you're in the assessment, you need to go back to upload a file on the left menu. Then you can choose a file from your actual desktop. So I've got a sample PDF over here. The best is to upload it in PDF. I'll show you now as well how you confirm what file types are accepted. So you'll notice here, maximum file size, 10 megabytes. Maximum number of files, 1. So if I had multiple files, I had to combine them. Here, it only accepts PDF documents. So in your exam, just look at the bottom, what type of files are accepted. So if it does accept Word files, you can upload the Word file directly, or but most likely in a lot of cases, they want you to save your Word document as a PDF and upload the PDF document. So I've ticked the box, this is my own work. I made sure it's under 10 megabytes, so it uploaded successfully. I've got only one file, so that's uploaded. So now I can select Save Changes. So once I've submitted, I can scroll down. So you can see here, submitted for grading. If you're within the cutoff time, that's the half an hour you have after the exam to submit. This will display sometimes a different color, such as a light yellow, but don't worry as long as it's submitted. And if you've still got time, what I always recommend, click on the file that you submitted. So don't go close it immediately. It's already submitted for grading, so you don't need to do anything else. But click on the file that you submitted, open it up, and make sure that it is the correct file submitted. A lot of times in the haste, you just finish your exam, you want to get it submitted, you click on the file, you accidentally select the incorrect file. You might be calling the file your module name with something in addition to it. So you look for that specific module code, you upload it, but it might have been an assignment that you did, or even in a lot of cases, they get tutorial letters. So make sure that you upload the correct file. Now, if for this file you find, oh, this is the incorrect file, but I'm still within the period that I can upload, I can just edit submission. And then I can scroll down, click on the file, delete it. I'll just delete this one. And then you add another file and choose it and upload it from there. So remember, if you're still within that submission period, you can upload a new file if you find that you have uploaded an incorrect file. Also, make sure when you upload files that they're not password protected. So if you use, for instance, company software, a lot of them put it on automatically. So test this out, on the device that you will be using for the exams. Make sure that everything is working. Another note that we had in previous exams is if you're using company computers, go and do the mock exam on that company computer. Because some of them have additional firewalls to protect, sensitive data within their network. And that might actually prevent the proctoring tool from working. So in my case, I have now submitted successfully. I can now go back to the iris, and now I can say finish recording, because basically I have now completed. I want to submit. I need to slide over this toggle over here to confirm. So remember, you just slide it over, and then the yes will appear. You click on yes. You'll get a message that the recording has stopped, and then it will start the upload process. So you'll have this icon over here, file upload in progress. Please do not close this window. And this, depending on the file size, can take some time, and also your network speed. So all you do is you just leave this open. It will run. It will give you a completed once everything has been submitted. But while we're waiting for this one, I just quickly want to show you a note on the MCQ. So if I go back to the mock exams, so we did the file upload. So the MCQ assessments, there is a bit of a difference, and that is the password. So again, you agree to the terms and conditions, you set up your camera, set up your microphone. How do we choose that one? Put in your name, exactly like we did in the previous one. Capture your ID card, and then you share your screen. Select the screen. Just remember always to click on the screen before you can select. And then I click next, and I start the assessment. Now, if I go to this one, reattempt quiz, you'll notice it will automatically fill in the password. So remember, they're not going to give you the quiz password. This is a method that you can also test that your iris is working correctly. It will actually insert the password for the quiz. And then you can click on Start Attempt. And then you complete this exactly like you do any quiz assessment. Remember, one big difference from what you would get, for instance, in normal quizzes for your assignments, you can't go back. So this one, it does allow it, but in the exams, it will not allow you to go back to different attempts. It's sequential. So you have to answer each question before you continue to the next one. So please don't skip through all of them and then you realize, wait, I can't go back to answer them again. So I can now, for instance, click on Submit All and Finish. Submit All and Finish. And as you see, it stops automatically with the MCQ. It starts the upload process. Where on the file upload, because we finished earlier, we had to click Submit. But here, everything goes through. It gives you the green tick that it has been completed successfully. And now I can close this window. Then I can close it and I know everything has been submitted successfully. I'm just quickly gonna end my screen again. Okay, so let me share the screen over here. So remember, if you're using a dual monitor setup like I'm doing here, you will actually get a message to say, wait, you need to disconnect one of them. That's why I disconnected the one while I was doing the demo as well. So remember, Iris is a plugin that you need to install. I'll share the link to the Iris page again in the chat. It's a browser plugin. It's either for Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome, and you do require a computer. And the computer that you're using, if it's a laptop even, it does require a working microphone and camera. Now remember, you may not use headphones, so make sure the speakers are working. If you're using a desktop, remember you will need a webcam for that desktop for it to work. And that brings us to the end of the free proctoring tools. So please make use of the proctoring lookup tool to make sure exactly which proctoring tool you'll be using, whether it's the Moodle proctoring, where you know it's just MCQ exams. The one just basically works online. You don't need to install anything. It just takes pictures at random times. Invigilator app, using that one for take-home exams. You need to download the app, create an account on the app, and test it out beforehand. Please don't install it on the day of your exams. They recommend at least 3 days before your examination. And then also iris invigilation, only used by the College of Science, Engineering, Technology, and it's used for both MCQ and take-home exams. Now we get to the stage of writing your exams. So remember, we're not dealing now with module arrangements. I saw there was quite a few of you that asked questions about module arrangement modules that you will have to look at the announcements. You will still have access to your module from last year. They will announce on there when the supplementaries are being held and how you will submit it. You'll submit it on the My Modules site, not on myExams. So these are specifically for ones that occurs on the myExams portal. So remember, to access the myExams portal, you can still visit my Unisa, click on the myExams button. On the myExams portal, you'll select the date on which you will be writing. We'll only list 5 days in advance, so after that, it won't list anything. On the college assessment, that will open your college assessment portal. So very importantly, each college has their own portal. That's to make sure that there's no crashes or downtimes. So there you log in, exactly like you do with my modules. You will have access to your assessment. Now, I do recommend actually doing this before your exam, and there's 2 reasons for doing that. Make sure that you can access and log in, that you don't get any errors, and also that you can actually see the modules that you'll be writing. You'll already see them, although you won't be able to start the assessment, you can actually access them. So you visit my Unisa, click on my exams, we'll list the dates, and then today's date and 4 days in advance. So it's just 5 dates in total. If it's after that, you'll have to wait until you're at least within that 5-day period. And then from there, once you click on a date, we'll list the modules. You select the module that you'll be writing, and that will open up your portal on which you'll be writing. And as you can see, it looks exactly like my Unisa as you log in with your MyLife email address. Now remember, because this is a different portal, you will need to complete the full sign-in, and you will need to insert the PIN that's been sent to you from Microsoft. So I saw today that Microsoft is sending them now to WhatsApp, so they're not sending it by SMS anymore. They will actually send you a WhatsApp message with the code that you need to insert. And then from there, you can access the portal. Now, there's another way. If you do not, for instance, have WhatsApp or you don't always get the pins, I will really recommend downloading the Authenticator app. It's the Microsoft Authenticator app that you can get from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And that one will actually, you authenticate once, and then it will always generate the PIN for you. So then you don't need to wait for SMSs or messages coming through, as it will have the PIN. And this also helps, especially if you're traveling overseas or between countries. The Authenticator app, as long as you've got Wi-Fi access, will work. Whereas you in a different country, you won't get the message that you registered with. So especially for our students from overseas, remember this is the alternative that you can always ensure that you do get those messages. Let me just quickly demo this for you. So if you go to my Unisa, you'll click on the important links. You click on my exam. So you see, you don't even need to sign in to the portal. You'll see there, for instance, I know for the first exams are only on the 20th. The year it will list all the modules that's being written on the 20th. From this list, you can select your module. So you'll notice, even though it's only the 20th that this will be written, I can access it already. I can click on that module. I can sign in with my MyLife email address, and I can actually access the portal. And from here, you'll have access to the modules that you will be writing. So make sure, even before your examination, you access this page, log in, that you don't get any errors, because then you've got enough time to contact myExams so that they can assist you. And on this page, this is generally what the layout will look like. Your assessment will be here at the bottom right hand. So usually they've got announcements, they've got additional files perhaps for you to observe, but it will be here at the bottom, whether it's either a file upload or a quiz type of assessment. So obviously you won't be able to access them yet because they will only open on the day. But if you can access it up to here, you know you're already set for the day. You don't need to worry about inserting pins or anything like that. Here you will also notice your profile picture does not display, as it only displays on my modules. So don't worry if your profile picture does not display. You only focus on accessing your assessment. Okay, we get this presentation again. Seems like it disappeared from my computer. There it is. So remember, accessing myExams portal is very easy. From my Unisa, you click on myExams, you select the date, and the portal will look something similar to this. Where you click on the drop-down, myExams, you click on the module, and you will access your module from there. And it's usually, as I mentioned, at the bottom right hand where you click on your module. Now, remember the assessment types. MCQ assessments, that's the quiz activity that you're familiar with. The only big difference is it's sequential, so you have to answer each question before you continue. If you accidentally log out during that period of the assessment, you can always log back in. You can continue from where you left off. Everything is, how can I say, stored as you go along. If you, for instance, lose connectivity, it will automatically submit everything that you have completed. The take-home assessments, you log in beforehand. If it's the Invigilator app, you get the code, you scan that, you start, you download the question paper. You can actually log out of the exam portal, you complete it, and then once you're ready to submit, you log back in and then you submit. And then the special occurrence is the module arrangement. This is where it won't happen on myExams. We've got quite a few questions, so wait for your academic to let you know through the announcements or by email how you will be submitting, and you will submit this on the My Modules platform. Now, just a quick note on academic integrity. If you go on the page, we do have quite a bit of information about academic integrity. So if you click on lesson 4, and it's a video, for instance, why we're using it, because you might be wondering, why do I have to go for all this effort to go install all these proctoring tools, test them out? And it's basically, it replaces the Invigilator that we had in venue-based exams. And it's all basically also to ensure what you are studying is going to be meaningful one day. Not only to you, that you've got the knowledge, but also the integrity of the qualifications, so that when you go to a workplace with a Unisa certificate or degree, they will actually recognize that as a valid qualification. So there's many types of cheating. Go have a look at this page to see what the types of academic dishonesty is, what to do in certain circumstances. So for instance, you get a WhatsApp message from somebody asking help. Do you actually reply to them? No, obviously not with the answers, but you actually don't reply to them at all, because then you're already actually also participating in dishonesty by just replying to what they have asked. So have a look through these videos. It's very interesting to see the types of academic dishonesty, what to do when you observe academic dishonesty as well. How do you report it to the university? And very interesting, you'll probably get confirmation once you register again. There's actually now an academic integrity course that is going to be mandatory for everybody to complete this year. So once you start this year with your registrations, you will get information about the academic integrity course, which you need to complete. Now, lastly, finding support. So there are quite a few support channels available to you. Obviously, if you're close to a campus, you can easily access the campus to get support, but there are also online channels, and then also support for students with different needs. So, but you need to apply for, the special examinations in that case. But for this section, I'm going to hand over back to David that will quickly guide us through the regional support that's available, the official support channels of Unisa, what to do if you're a student with a disability, and then lastly, just some of the major Q&A questions that we observed before we end the session. Thank you, David.
All right, thanks, Richard. I almost thought you forgot me there for a second. So yes, just to carry on from where Richard was explaining, guys. So there's some very important information that we need to give you guys. So the first one is, and I saw a lot of people were asking this in the chat as well. All right, so how do I get contact with support? Okay, so if you go to my Unisa's webpage, you'll see there's inquiries button. And once you click on this little chap, it'll scroll down. You'll get the call center number, and you'll see the dates and times when it's available. Please take note of that. You'll scroll down a little bit. You'll see there's Inquire, My Unisa Help, My Life Help. Then you've got quite a few of the colleges for postgrads, the colleges themselves, guys. So they are the direct emails of the colleges. So, yep, so you can use that as well. The assignment question, there's the exam stuff as well, guys. So a lot of the questions you are asking about when or why don't I have a supplementary, there we go. You can actually go see them. And then also for the colleges as well, there are the contact details as well. So you can also go contact them. You keep going, you'll see there's funding and all this information. Then just to keep going, I just want to show you something very important as well, the regional centers. Now, this is also critical for you as a student. And if you are close to a regional center, please go and visit the center, go see what's available to you, who's working there, get their contact details. So guys, if you're sitting at home and you have a problem, then at least you know, this guy works in the computer lab. Let me send him an email so that he can maybe assist me, whatever the problem may be. So that's why it's so important as student support to build it in for yourself, to have these people that you know, that you've met, that you've seen. Please do that. I can understand that some of you guys are very, very far from computer labs or centers, but then it is good just to see, for example, Eastern London Computer Lab. I know the colleagues there. That's their email address. So if you wanted to know something a little bit more about my Unisa or my exams or whatever it may be, send them an email. There's also their contact number. So you can build that information of who's available where, no matter where you're sitting. So this is critical, important information that we are sitting with. So please make sure you build this up, find out who's the closest to you, which centers are, what are their contact details, and make sure you, if you do have that opportunity, please go to the campuses and go meet the people that can actually help you. Because this is definitely a resource that you guys could lean upon to ensure that you've got everything that you need. So regional support is absolutely critical. I cannot stress that enough. So we are based all over the country. There are computer labs, which really is the support hub of technology. So please go and visit all of them as well. Then, as I did mention, there is the SCSC, what we call the Student Support Contact Center. So there are the email addresses as well as the contact numbers. I know there was a technical issue with the number. I think it was yesterday. So if you did call and the system just dropped you for whatever reason, it might have been that problem. I think they have resolved it already. So, but yes, there we go. So there are also the email addresses. Very important, guys. Please don't use work or personal emails, because 99% of the time the spam filters will actually block it, because we only really deal with my life emails, especially with the mailboxes like these ones over here. It's very sensitive searching and finding, because there's a lot of people trying to scam and spam and whatnot us. So yes, so please make sure you use your My Life email, because that's your official email, where you can then contact the university. So it's critical that you use that. We do have the social chats via the corporate page on Facebook and Twitter. Those are monitored, so you can use them. So please go ahead and use it as well. And you'll see there is a web chat function also on the corporate page of myUnisa, where you can also use that functionality, especially during exam time. So these are all the options. Please go and explore them. Save the email addresses, because I think these are quite important, especially with the data queries. I know a lot of students used to come to my computer lab saying, I didn't get my data, what now? Okay, so you take your My Life email, you send these guys an email, and they respond fairly quickly. I've seen that myself. So this is very important. So make sure, I did share the link with you. We'll post it in the chat as well. Make sure you've got the contact information. Now, here's another thing. You're writing your exam and now you come across a problem. What are you going to do? You're not going to reach out to David and Richard, guys, because remember, we only train you on the technologies. There is a specific bunch of people who actually deal with exam queries on the go, in other words, as it's happening. So if you go to myUnisa, you'll go basically exactly where we showed you under My Exams. But here's the important little link, and it's sitting right over there, called Exam Contact Details. This is also critical for exam-related queries. You click on here, and it's going to bring up the guys who are online, active, available, who can support you. So if you just go a little bit down, you'll see the colleges are there. They've got the details, they've got the email, and they've even got the landline and the coordinator who's actually busy doing it. So these people are live during exam sessions, and they are constantly helping students who come across problems during the exam. So definitely this is a contact list you need to have ready and available, just in case you need to contact your college. So there we have it, guys. So this is really, really important information. Again, I will post this in the chat as well. Then the last thing is, if you have a student, or if you're a student with a special need, please make sure that you are aware of what the UkSuite Center is helping with you guys with. Very important information. I know you need to be a little bit brave, guys, if you need to submit these forms and confirmation from the doctor, but it is for your benefit, so that you can, obviously it's a way of helping you guys, because we do understand that certain situations you cannot use proctoring tools, I mean, for obvious reasons. So please contact them if you want to know more information. If you want to know what special needs are catered for, please drop an email to UkSuite at Unisa. They're very helpful. We deal with them quite a lot. They're very lovely people, and definitely contact them and find out if there is something that you can apply. Do it as soon as possible, not during the exam period, because you need to do this in advance so that any arrangements can be done for you. So it's very, very important. And if you know people who are studying and they haven't done this, tap them on the shoulder and say, this is for you, please. It's for your benefit, so please don't miss out on this opportunity, because it can make a big difference with your studies. So please, 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 very importantly. Then before we do the post survey, Richard, so a couple of questions that did come through. I saw a lot of people were asking about the timetable. I think that was the most common question. How do we get to the timetable? So that's very important, guys. Just remember, you can go to My Admin, and then you go to your assessments, and then it's under, which one is it under again? I think it's under Assessment Admin, then Exam Timetable. Yes, there. And I see you students are even posting it for each other in the chat. Thank you so much for that as well. We do appreciate helping each other. That's the whole Ubuntu there I see coming through with you guys. Awesome stuff. So please go check your exam timetable, or if you just use a Google search quick, you can do Unisa exam timetable. There is the direct link as well that you can actually go to, type in your modules, and then let it see what is happening. But again, please go check your module, go check your My Life, go see what the university is saying to you, your lecturers are saying to you with regards to the exams itself. One of the questions that came up from Iris that I did see, Richard, I know they were asking about the password. How do they get the password? Maybe just for the benefit of the students who might have missed it. And then just linking with the password, I see they were also asking, there was a gentleman that asked about the work laptop situation. What settings should he not use so that it, because it's obviously a work laptop, there might be some confidential information there. So those are the two questions. If you can jump in and help, it would be appreciated.
So remember, when you do the iris proctoring, the MCQ password will be completed automatically. So you don't need to do anything. You just open up your assessment. It will complete the form where the password part is. So don't type in there anything. Just leave it and just press continue. So all of that is automatic process. When you do the mock exam, you'll see that it works. If it works, then it will work for your exams as well. If you've got a problem on there, you can reach out to the proctoring inquiries email, and they will assist you with any technical setup aspects regarding that. But don't worry about the password. Just know that the password is filled in automatically. The lecturers do not share that password because that's a method to test for you to access it, that your iris proctoring is actually working. And then for the second one regarding work, the problem is generally with work laptops is the firewalls on the network. So if you're going to be doing it from work, just install the plugin normally. Say for work, you're usually using Chrome, for instance, and rather use Microsoft Edge for your exams. So, you don't have your work and your other information on the same browser. So, but what you do, you don't need to do any specific settings. You just install the app, make sure that it's working. If it is blocked by the firewall, unfortunately, it will be your ICT that needs to allow that application to work. But that's why it's so important to do the mock exam. But in terms of other settings on your computer, you can keep everything exactly the same. The only problem that I had in the past was firewalls, but I must say that really has reduced over the years as companies have allowed it for their students within the companies. And it's very in a rare cases that we do get them. But yes, yeah, so in terms of the password, don't worry about it. It's completed automatically. Do not go and type in there anything else. Just know that you need to just press continue. And then for the firewall issue, please test it out on the network with the mock exam to make sure everything is working. Thanks, David.
All right, thanks, Richard. Much appreciated. I hope this session has really helped you guys. I know it's been 2 hours of hectic listening to us. Please do remember we do have the recording. It's on our course site. We'll share it again with you. So please go through the course site. Go check your exam timetables, guys. Very, very important. See what proctoring tools you need to use. Once you know that, please work through all the course material and then make sure that you then are prepared for the exam. So this time you nail it, you get 100%, so you can move on. Hey, it's very, very important. Richard has shared the recording, so if you want to sit back and relax and listen, go through it again. There is the YouTube link as well. Remember, if you're not seeing a supplementary in the tool that we've used, go back to your module and also go check your My Life emails, and let's go see if there is anything there for you, okay? Because it might, normally that's where the information is sitting. So please check those My Life emails as much as possible. Thank you guys for joining us. If you want, we are going to have another session on Thursday, starting at, if I remember correctly, it's 10 o'clock. Is that right, Richard? It is 10 o'clock, eh?
Yes, in the morning.
Yes, yes, 10 o'clock in the morning. So if you've got the opportunity, please work through all the materials. If you have any questions, come back to us again on Thursday and we'll try and answer them. And yes, we hope that you guys have learned a lot from the session. I know it is a lot of information, but we really know if you guys can work through this, work through their course material, it'll definitely put you on the front foot. And once again, thank you for the students who are helping each other, because you guys are really awesome. And I've been checking your answers and they really are spot on, by the way. So thank you so much for that. I know we're a bit of a small team this evening, but we do appreciate the support from you guys. I'm just going to hand back to you, Richard. I'm not too sure if Denzel's going to come have a few words as well or not.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, David.
Pleasure.
Yes, I just want to say thank you to David and Richard for facilitating this excellent session. I'm sure from the numbers that we see that we've actually held right for the past 2 hours, it's definitely been an impactful evening to all the students. And I think as Richard and as David had said, we really want to wish you all the best for the upcoming examination. We know it's the start of 2025, so we really wish you the best as you start the examination. Know that this is a way for you to get into 2025 and excel. So take care, enjoy the session, enjoy your exams, and we look forward to seeing some of you if you are joining us for other training sessions in the course of the year. Follow us and let's see how we make 2025 an impactful year for all of us. And once again, thanks to the ADOVH colleagues, David, Richard, we've got Lindiwe with us as well, and Netma, thank you so much. And to all our students, best of luck. We will see you on the other side of your examination. Thanks, colleagues.
Thank you, everyone. All the best of your exams and with your studies this year. May 2024-5 be very fulfilling, and we hope to see you in the next session, but we will probably also see you in May, June, when you start with your next exams. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Good luck.